All right. So my question was, we're doing the testing thing, I'm asking you guys, do you guys feel like the curriculum that I've covered with you helped you on this test, or on taking the HSA specifically? Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get an idea of how I can better serve you as a teacher. Um, and the reason why I'm asking is because, we're looking at motion and all of that kind of stuff. I'll probably be, if you guys start sticking around with the school, I'll be your teacher next year, I think. And if I'm going to be your teacher next year, I want to be like the best teacher I can possibly be. So what I'd like to do is not necessarily do stuff where I basically make you do a bunch of um, I feel like I understood a lot of the things stuff better. Okay, what I'd like to do is I'd like to incorporate a lot of math projects into the math, into our math assignments. So it's not just straight up math. I'm actually making you guys go out and calculate the angle of things and that kind of stuff, because I think that that would be fun. It'd be fun, and it'd also be very worthwhile. You see what I mean? So anyway, that's my question to you: is do you feel like that the curriculum that I've provided has helped you with taking the HSAs? Okay, awesome. I feel good about myself. Do you feel like you guys took the Explore test, right? You guys remember that one? It was a little early on in this year. My question to you is: do you feel like the Explore test, when I went over it, it was the one that was like an AC. It looked like an ACT, and I remember doing ACT prep class with you, where we did a few classes where we just studied the ACT stuff. How did you guys feel like you guys did there? Did you feel like you did really well or not so well for the science part? Do you remember the science part of the test where I told you it's not really a science test at all? It's a reading test. It's a logic test. I like Aunt Sophia's answers. It's like, I did really well. I just put all my answers in the wrong spot. Or is she not joking? Because if she's not joking, that's kind of sad. Like, that's not kind of sad as in, like, that's sad as in, haha, for you that's sad. That's sad as in, oh, I would hate to have that happen to me. Oh. Oops. Okay. Well, hopefully you won't do that next time. Alright. Alright, so make sure you guys are careful with where you put the answers in. So, because what I'm trying to figure out is this. I don't know how you guys did on the Explore test, but I do know how our school did on the ACT test. And they didn't do very well for the science part. And I'm wondering, like, how is it that I can better prepare you guys to take the ACT test in science? Because to be honest with you, like, we didn't do very well, but the ACT test, remember, I did the ACT science prep with you. I know the science part is really easy, but it turns out that when our juniors took the ACT, they did the worst in science, they did the best in reading, and they did meh in math. Yeah, they did the worst in science. I don't understand. And so I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to, like, get a better understanding as to what. I warned you guys that the science test is the last, and I bet you they put the easiest test at the end, because they're like, well, we have to make it easy, but at the same time, like, we don't want to make it too easy, so let's give it to them when they're tired. You know? So the biggest thing you have to combat when you're taking the science ACT is fatigue. You're just going to be so tired. That kind of stuff. Anyway, I promised you guys that I would get done with class quickly. And so what I wanted to talk about today was I wanted to talk to you about testing and really kind of ask more of an introspective question of what is it that I can do to better prepare you for testing. And the second thing I'm going to do is I've decided that I think it'd be a good idea for us to build these ping pong ball launchers. Will I be able to do everything I want to do with it. I don't think so. I don't know. The tracker is really seems to not really like a lot of you guys. Like, tracker doesn't seem to want to load up for everyone, so I think I'm gonna have to abandon that program. Although it's a really cool program, I wish we could use it. But anyway, we're talking about the ping pong ball launcher, and this morning I already built some of mine. This one's mine, or at least at the beginning it was mine. So there's a few ideas out there, and I'm not going to halfway through, just in case you were planning to do the work. Yeah, I want to make sure that we all have a chance to do it. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But I was thinking that, like, you know how a lot of you guys were emailing me like questions or telling me that, like, you don't have all the tools? To be honest with you, all I needed was a drill. So what I'm going to do is, I think that maybe Thursday and Tuesday I'll send out an email to you guys and see if you guys are on Oahu want to physically come in, and we'll build it together. You guys bring in your materials, I'll bring in a drill, a saw, and maybe a Dremel tool, and we'll build all of this stuff together. Like, we'll all use the drill and all of that kind of stuff. We'll have wood shop for that day. Do you guys think that that might help? Yeah, Jenna, you don't have to because you're on a different island. Do you still have the tools to build something like this? You just need a drill, really. So if you have access to a drill. Sure, email us, please email our parents. Okay, alright. Okay, alright, I'll tell you what. Jenna, I suppose that since you don't have the tools and you're on a different island, so you can't come in and borrow my tools or, you know, get help from me, that yes, you can do the calculations. And what I'll do is, I'll build this one for the off-island students, and then you guys can use all of my data, and then if we have a war or something like that, then you guys can calculate all of the things and then use this one. Alright, so let me show you how I designed this one, because I pretty much designed it just like the Khan Academy one. I think mine's is, it's no different really. But the thing is, he went over it really quickly. So I had to like watch his video a couple of times and look at all of the supplies. And I just kind of made some of these up. So I'm going to share with you guys the supplies of the thing, and then after that, I think that I'm going to end class, and then we can work on actually physically building this. Why don't we make it due next week, Wednesday? I want to see your ping pong ball launchers, and I want to see it launch a ping pong ball, and how far it launched it. Sound good? Now, you don't need to use this design. And yes, you can come in. Why don't we shoot for Thursday and Tuesday to actually physically come in and work on this? Oh, and Victoria can't come in. But Victoria, you have access to a shop, so that might work for you. Right? Alright. Anyway. Yes, and I'll try to explain the thing as best as I can. And I'll send out an email saying that, you know, what we'll have to study. Or, you know, inviting you guys to come to the school with me, and then maybe what I'll do is I'll cancel WebEx on Thursday so that we can just have extra time to work on this. Sound good? Alright, so the way my thing is set up is I forgot my ping pong ball at home. But I basically just, alright, I'll break it apart for you and I'll go over slow with you how I set this up. And that way it will give you guys an idea of how to do it. But also, keep in mind that you don't need to do it exactly like this. Like, when I was looking on, like, here's a automated ping pong ball launcher, which is really cool. But I just put ping pong ball launcher design in here, and there's a whole bunch of them. And so, do you have to use the one do you have to do the Khan Academy one? No. You can do this one, which kind of looks like an airplane. but then it shoots out that way. I guess it's more like a slingshot. So you can design this one, or you can design, I think this one was cool. There was the teacher trek or something like that. Yeah, so any model you want. The only specifications that I would put on it is that it needs to launch, let's say, I don't know, 10 feet. It has to at least go 10 feet, and it has to be something that you can change the angle on. And you won't have to hold it. You don't have to, like if you build this one right here, so this one is good because it will set the angle and you can change the angle on it, right? So let's say it has to go up to at least 45 degrees. Be able to raise up to 45 degrees. I would recommend going up to 60 degrees because I think that would be really good. All right. And yes, Lucas, you can come in and work on any assignment you want. But where's the Boys Life magazine? I wanted to take a look at it real quick. Yes, but I'm going to be working on the ping pong ball launcher. Anyway, hey, if you build this one, you're going to have to build some kind of stand for it so that you can raise it up to an angle and fire it. You know, it looks like for this one you just open the clothespin and then that shoots the rubber band off. And so you'll have to build some kind of thing where you'll be able to, and all of that means is maybe put a stick at the end that you can adjust the length to, so that way it will be able to stand up at different angles and you can fire it. So it's not something you have to hold and shoot it like that. We're not trying to build guns that you hold. We're trying to build guns that have stands on it so that we can kind of accurately measure things. Does that make sense to you? So let me share you the tools that I went out and got. First I got was MDA board. And this thing is a really cheap stuff. I forgot exactly how much it costs, but really you just need 2 of them. And so, you know, you can get plywood, you can get whatever wood you want. I'd recommend using some kind of wood. And here it is. It's this one right here. I just drilled a hole in it, right there. And let's talk about some design things. I put an eye bolt right here. So you might need an eye bolt with 2 nuts on it. And I put that at the corner. That's to hold my spring. All right, any questions about that so far? Because that's the thing is, Khan, when he shared with you like all the supplies he did, he just kind of went through it real quick and showed you the little CAD drawing and went this, and you were like, wow, I'm so lost. I don't know how he did that so quickly. But anyway, that's what today's class is going to be about. I'm going to share with you how I'm designing mine, and then you guys can kind of ask me questions and stop. All right. So then what I did was I broke a protractor. And you don't even need a protractor, but a protractor would probably help. You can print one up if you need to. And that way I can kind of put it right here and have my, the reason why I broke it, oh, I just slammed my keyboard. The reason why I broke it is because I wanted to be able to put you know what, let's do this. The reason why I broke it is because I wanted to put this bar across it, and then I can use the bar to measure the angle. So setting this up, I have a bar. Now this is going to be the hardest part of setting the whole thing up, is getting this bar. I think that this is going to be the most expensive piece. This is also going to be the most difficult to find. You could use a piece of wood, I suppose, but it would need to be thick enough so you can drill a hole through it. I would recommend using a metal one. I got a metal one, but it was like $6 for like 3 feet worth of it. And you only need 11 inches. Yes, I'll send you a recommended list of materials. How's that in my email? Yeah, so you only need 11 inches, or I cut mine down to 11 inches, and it was $6, and you can probably get maybe 3 of them out of it. So maybe if you want, you guys can pitch in, and one of you buy the metal bar, and then we can cut it up into 3 pieces, and then there you go. You know what I mean? So that's like $2 each. You just have to have someone who will cut it, and then I'll see if I can bring in the material or the tool to use to cut this thing, and we'll be good. All right, any questions? Okay, so the next thing we do is where I got a little bolt, and this thing I've used a 1/4-inch bolt. I'll write it up for you and send you a list of materials, but anyway, 1/4-inch bolt, and I put it through here. Then I got a few washers. That's these things right there. Put them on. And then I got this plastic thing that I took out of a watch. It's just a spacer, just to help put some space in there, so put that on there. Then I take this whole thing and I stick it right inside of here. Oops, I put it on backwards. There. Washers. Plastic thingy. Other way. There we go. Then I just stick him in there so he rotates freely. And screw him on. See? So now I have stuff that will rotate. And I got this spring. By the way, the washers were like 12 cents. The nut was like 20 cents. This thing was like $2, I think. Or $1. Something like that. I gotta go look at my receipt. This thing was a couple bucks. This thing was like $2. So I think that I can get this project down to under $10, under $8 even. So anyway, here's my ping pong ball launcher, and it will launch out ping pong balls. It's a little dangerous right now because I haven't built in any of the safety guards yet. But what do I recommend? What do I plan on doing later? Well, one of the things I noticed is that this bar kind of like doesn't go evenly. It kind of goes and it scrapes the edge right here. And so what I probably want to do is put, I don't want the, it's kind of like a golf swing. I don't want the bar to hit the ping pong ball down or up. I want it to hit it dead on. You know what I mean? So I'm going to need to prevent this kind of motion right here as it swings. So what I was probably thinking about doing is putting just a pen that I found. Putting a pen right here. If I put a pen there, this thing will be able to rest on that pen, and then that it will always stay above this height. This is a little metal pen. Yeah, I was planning on not doing that complicated, so I just have a metal pen to kind of keep the bar up. And it's got a little spring that goes to the eye bolt. This whole thing is going to have a protractor tacked onto it, so let me just do that real quick. Let me loosen that nut. Get this thing. Put this here. Tighten it down. Yeah, I wasn't planning on going very complicated. But there we go. Now I got my protractor. And then what I'll probably end up doing, what I still need to do and I haven't done yet, is I'll take the spring off. I'll measure. This is hard to do because I can only see what I'm doing inside of the video. And then what I'll do is I'll say, okay, this is 0 degrees. And this is 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 50 degrees, 60 degrees, 70 degrees, 80 degrees, 90 degrees, and all of that kind of stuff. And then what I'll do is I'll take it, I'll move it there, and then I'll put a little like mark right there, and I'll drill a hole inside the board. And I'll move it to 10 degrees and I'll drill a hole inside the board. And then move it to 30 degrees and drill a hole. And then 40 degrees, drill a hole, drill a hole, drill a hole, drill a hole. So I'm going to have these holes that kind of set up and makes it look like a big protractor on there. And then what I'll do is I'll say, okay, well, all we do is say that we want to, like we'll calibrate it out and we'll say, okay, I want to do 40 degrees of pullback. Then I'll just go like this, pull it back to 40 degrees, put a little like nail in there or something like that. And then, you know, this spring will be connected. And then what I'll do is, okay, ready, aim, fire. And then all I'll do is I'll just pull out the nail and the thing will boom. And we'll kick that ball. So that's it. That's my design. Well, actually, it's not even my design. It's apparently Khan Academy's design, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I got these hinges. The hinges were like $2, and I'm only going to use one of them, so someone else might be able to use the other one, I think. Yeah, I'm only going to use one of them. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put that hinge between this board, and that way I have a little sandwich, and it's going to be hinged right here. And then I can set it at different angles and launch them. And that's it. What else am I going to do? I don't really think I'm going to get that much more complicated. The only thing that I am, I think I'm going to do is, so the original design that Khan had was this. So let me tell you some things that I didn't like about his thing. Is he had a little stop bar that he drilled in right here. And then what happens is, can you also put the stuff and send us those instructions with the materials? Yeah. Actually, you know what? I've archived this WebEx, and so maybe you can just watch the archive and see the instructions for the design I have, which is very similar to Khan Academy stuff. But anyway, here's what he did in his original video that I didn't like, and apparently he didn't like either. But he put a little bar right here, so this thing would come up and it would hit that bar and it would stop it real hard, like boom, right? And then what happens is, A, this bar will get all messed up. B, I feel like it's going to mess up all the joints. So mine's just is allowed to swing all the way through. I don't stop it any way. I just kind of, it pulls down, and you let it rip, and then it will swing through. Also, I designed this so that it's, okay, I'll try to send them to you. Hopefully I'll send it, email it out to you by Wednesday. Is that all right? All right. And then what I also want to do is, I also designed this so that the spring naturally rests a little bit higher than where the ping pong ball initially starts. And I guess the way I looked at it is because I wanted this thing to have a follow through. I want to kick through the ball. You know what I mean? Like when they tell you to punch in karate, they tell you to punch and aim for the back of their head, because that way your punch will go all the way through. So that's kind of what the idea that I had for this one. Also, he put a little cover over here. I don't think that I'm going to build a cover. It's because I think I'm going to be using this, and I'm not going to have little kids use this, so it's not like, he put the cover there, I'm thinking, because when you move this up right here and you're trying to hold this side to stabilize it and you let it go, this thing's going to hit your fingers. It's going to be very sore. But I don't have that cover because I'm a big kid and I know not to put my fingers there. Maybe if I bring this home and make it a toy for my kids, I'll put a little cover on that. And then also what he did was, and this is the idea that I liked, and so I'm going to do, is I'm going to put, oh no, my shirt got all messed up. Alright, whatever. I'm going to put a little, I'm going to bend a little paper clip, or maybe I'll get, those things that we use for Easter? The the things that held the eggs, and then you would dip them inside of the little wire things that you hold with the eggs with, and you dip them inside of the cups. Yeah, I was thinking about taking one of those and putting it over here, and then, having it so it will hold the ping pong ball. So I'll put the ping pong ball there, and then it will be held in place using that little wire thing. Does that make sense? So I got to go find one of those. I think that we threw them away, but I can just bend a paper clip in that way. All right, so why don't we do this? Why don't we shoot for Thursday and Tuesday? I'm going to not hold class, and we'll let you guys work on your designs for ping pong ball launcher, and it will be due next week Wednesday. So you have more than a week to work on it. Does that sound doable? And it doesn't need to be an elaborate design. In fact, I would recommend the simpler the better. I actually really like this idea of the slingshot kind of deal. So maybe you guys might want to use that. I I don't have a whole lot of the mega equipment. I'm gonna bring in a drill, a few bits, and a saw, and that kind of stuff. If you want to, or I'll send out an email and say, hey, we're gonna have a building construction day on Thursday and Tuesday, and if like I'm gonna ask some parents if they want to come and help us out, that'd be great. Or if they want to let us borrow their drill, that'd be good too. Because I don't even have a cordless drill. Mine just has a plug in it. Are we cool? Any questions? Then class can be finished.